Hello everybody, Fred Cowgill at the War Memorial, welcoming you to another broadcast, in fact the 20th straight of Section 5 basketball here on WOKR 13. Tonight a great matchup in the AAA championship between WOKR's second-ranked East and the top-ranked in Section 5 Franklin Quakers. Our color man tonight, a man that many of you should know from Section 5 basketball, Edison head coach Dick O'Toole. Dick, you've had both the pleasure and the pain of having to coach against these two teams during the regular season. In fact, a year ago tonight, you lost to Franklin as they won the AAA championship. You've lost 4 games straight to both of these teams.
Yes, we did, Fred. It was exciting being here last year, even though we didn't win. We enjoyed it. It was a great tournament, and we came out of it very, very proud. And, of course, playing East and Franklin during the year, you know you're in a battle. You have to be well prepared because they're two excellent coached basketball teams.
These teams have been so tough all season. In fact, many coaches have said that they are head and shoulders above everybody else, mainly because of their speed. Both teams feature a 3-guard offense. The big key, I would think, would be maybe the big guys underneath. For East, Ken Taylor, and their center, John Livingston.
I think that could be a factor, Fred. I think the 3 guards could neutralize each other. Then it's going to be a case of what the big men do inside, who's getting the rebounds, and who's scoring those points inside on the paint.
Franklin also real tough underneath with their big guy, Marcus Davis, a great gun for them, averaging 18 points a game, a guy that's being looked at by a lot of big schools right now, including the University of Illinois, and their center, Hawkins Collier.
Franklin has 2 excellent inside players. Hawkins Collier came on real strong in the late going, giving Coach Jackson a lot of rebounds. And Marcus Davis, he may be one of the premier players in the league. And in Section 5, he can do it all inside. Just an excellent player to watch.
All right, earlier this week you may have seen number 1 St. John's and number 2 Georgetown. We've got one of our own tonight. Number 1 Franklin against number 2 East. We'll have more from the War Memorial right after this, so stay with us. Fred Cowgill and Edison head coach Dick O'Toole back at the War Memorial for you on WOKR 13, where for the 20th straight year we're proud to present Section 5 basketball, the AAA championship between WOKR's top-ranked Franklin and number 2 East. Now both of these teams have had great seasons, just 3 losses between them. Let's take a look at how they got this far on the road to the AAA finals. Fred Cowgill back courtside at the War Memorial, where Franklin and East are just moments away from the Section 5 championship of AAA, at least about 7 minutes away. Here with Section 5 Chairman Gene Johnson. Gene, seems like it's been quite a year for you.
It has been a great year. You know, we've already crowned 5 champions. 3 of them had never won a crown before.
Really?
Now, Wheatland Charlie won for the first time. Of course, Wilson Magnet won for the first time, and my school, Grease Athena, won.
Ah, a little plug, okay.
Little plug.
Now, the crowds have been quite good. A year ago, we faced the problems with that snowstorm that buried us all for so long, and this time around, the weather's been great.
It has been great.
A crowd of over 3,000 here at the War Memorial for this game, as East is trying for their 15th sectional championship, Franklin for their 10th. In fact, the Quakers are going for consecutive championships. They are the defending champs in AAA. The last time they did that was in 1970 and 71. In fact, Dick, the last team in AAA to go consecutive championships was East in 1978 and 79. How tough a thing is that to do?
Well, I think it's pretty tough, Fred, simply because of the turnover of talent from year to year. If you catch a young team and they put it all together for you as juniors, then you got a chance to do it again that next year. But usually when you lose a few players through graduation, you can't always replace them right away, so that repeat of champions is kind of hard.
So many coaches and players have told me that for them, the biggest measure of a champion is not necessarily winning that first one, but to somehow come back, maintain the composure, and win the second one too. And as you say, without that talent.
Well, the first one's probably the sweetest, and I think probably coming back winning the second, you know, gives you some more satisfaction knowing that maybe, you know, your program's really on the upswing and you've proven that you can do it again. It's not a one-shot deal. But winning 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever, you know, it's just a pleasure to be able to, you know, be in that position to come out as the champion.
All right, a very vocal crowd here this evening as Franklin trying for that consecutive championships tonight. We're just moments away from tip-off. Trent Jackson talking to his troops before they go in, and Sal Rizzo checking things out over on the East bench. We will be back with the tip-off for the Section 5 championship in just a few moments, so stay with us.
For Franklin, number 4, Marvin.
Chuck, are we okay? All right. Let's get this game going then. Oh, officials when we come back, right?
From Franklin, number 34, Kate McClay. From East, number 12, Rob Gray. From Franklin, number 24, Tori Poindexter. From East, number 52, Kevin Lawson. From Franklin, number 32, Eric Thomas. From East, number 30, Jason Winston. From Franklin, number 42, Stan Young. From East, number 35, Sean Gray. From Franklin, number 40, Bernard Evans. From East, number 40, Tony Scott. From Franklin, number 3, Ken McLean.
WOKR's top-ranked Franklin against number 2 East for the sectional basketball title AAA championship. Let's take a quick look at tonight's officials. There is Mike Palermo, he's the man in the glasses to the right of your screen, and Larry Capoto. They will be helping us out tonight as once again Mike Palermo actually is in the glasses there, and Larry Capoto will be helping us out to try to get this game to its conclusion with no problems. Just moments from tip-off here, the final player introductions. Dick, what do you tell your team at this point? I mean, you're moments away, and as you could tell from the warm-ups, both were very keyed up.
I think you just got to tell your team to go out and play, and not to be worrying about what's going to happen down the road. They worked hard to get here, and you don't want to change anything at this point in time. You don't want to say anything that's going to maybe upset the team. You just try to make them stay as loose as possible and let them do their thing.
How much of a factor is the War Memorial, playing in front of the bigger crowd, especially with so much on the line and the televised broadcast?
The players love it. The city players especially, I can speak for that. Coming to the War Memorial is, one of their goals. And if they're fortunate enough to play in a championship game that's on television, to them it would be like playing in Madison Square Garden. That's how important it is to them.
Okay, now early in the game, what do you see as a strategy for both teams? Franklin, known as a team that forces the ball up court very quickly. They try to get to that transition game. Can East play that game and win?
I think East is going to have to be very cautious about what they do on the defensive end. They live by the press, but Franklin's so quick, I wouldn't be surprised to see East not press or go to more of a passive press so that they can get back and be in position to play good half-court defense. On the other hand, I don't think Franklin's going to change their game plan. Their game plan has been push the ball up the court, try to catch you in transition, look for the layup or the jump shot. If not, then they'll pull it out and set up in their half-court offense.
Now, in Franklin's 3 sectional games, they have won by an average of 27 points a game. They have done any kind of offense you want, and they've won. East, on the other hand, has had one close game against Webster. The other two, actually, they've had pretty solid games all the way around. Sal Rizzo told me that he has to slow it down. He has to stop the momentum, break up Franklin's run and gun, so to speak, to force it up and to look for that percentage shot if he has any hope of being in it even by halftime.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Sal pull the ball out and try to slow the tempo down, possibly even go into his 4-corner offense. I don't think he wants to get into a running game with Franklin. Although he has good speed, I think he realizes that Franklin is the quicker ball club. And I think he'd rather take his chances on shortening the game, keeping possession on offense, limiting Franklin's opportunities at the other end of the floor.
All right, East now on the court. They're starting 5, and Franklin just finishing up their last-minute instructions from head coach Trent Jackson. Both teams very obviously keyed up for this one. East was in the finals 2 years ago and lost to a very talented Webster team. They have since, of course, merged. At that time, it was the Thomas team that won it. And now it is Franklin in the darker tops against East. East the top seed in AAA, but number 2 in WOKR's poll. Just 1 loss in 21 this season. Franklin 19-2. Marcus Davis, a surprise, will tip it off for Franklin against John Livingston, number 50 for East. And the tip goes to East. Quinn Smith with the ball. And he's going to bring it out right away.
Yeah, he's holding the ball. He wants to set the tempo.
All right, Steve Bridges on the left side of the court with the ball, and they're really going to be patient on this one. Dan Barley looking for the ball inside, their leading scorer. Quinn Smith with it now. Very patient offense here.
Franklin still staying in their 1-2-2 zone.
Quinn Smith with the ball, top of the key, goes in, looks for the shot, no good. Rebound underneath, Collier. Out to Trent Neal on the break. And they'll slow it up. Terry Brinkley. And he's lost the ball. Steve Bridges with it, and he'll slow it up. Bridges all the way. He'll go with it. No good. And Terry Brinkley with the ball. 3 on 2. Trent Neal. No good. Rebound Barley. Wings it out to Ken Taylor. All alone. Yes.
That was a fine pass by Dan Barley. He looked down and saw Ken Taylor breaking. Hit him with a perfect pass for the layup.
Ken Taylor with the first points of the game, a tough 6', 200-pound forward center. And we go the other way now with Henry Hooks, a pure shooter. No good. Hooks blocked, and they retain possession. Dan Barley psyched underneath for East.
That blocked by John Livingston. He could be the key for East High to win this ball game tonight, Fred, inside.
Brinkley to Marcus Davis from the outside. No good. Rebound, Neal. Good. Trent Neal for the first 2 points for the Quakers, and we're tied at 2. Franklin is an excellent rebounding team. And a momentary timeout as some toilet paper hitting the floor. A very vocal crowd, a lot of enthusiasm tonight here at the War Memorial. A good 3,500 or so on hand to watch number 2 against number 1, East and Franklin. East again in the lighter tops. Dan Barley with the ball, back to Bridges, full court press now by Franklin. Quinn Smith up to Barley. Barley all the way, no good. And Trent Neal for Franklin. It's Neal. No good. Rebound. Collier, yes. Hawkins Collier. A late addition to this Franklin team and playing so well for them at center. East with the ball, it's Dan Barley. Underneath. John Livingston hits.
That was a nice feed off by Dan Barley. Got the ball in the middle off the press, brought it to the top of the key and dished off very nicely.
Underneath. No good. Marcus Davis trying with that shot. Will go the other way this time. Quinn Smith losing the ball. Terry Brinkley bringing it back for Franklin. 1-on-1. No good, but a foul. Ken Taylor hacking him underneath.
You could see, Fred, the quickness of Terry Brinkley. Taylor was in position, and Brinkley just shot right by him, and Taylor had no choice but to foul him.
Brinkley, one of a number of Franklin players, 4 in fact, that average in double figures. They are so tough, any number of them can score. In fact, while most of the year, head coach Trent Jackson has freely substituted as the season has gone on to the wire, he has gone with the final 5 or 6, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. I think these 5 players have played so well together that there was really no reason to play anybody else unless there was foul trouble. They've meshed very well together.
Brinkley missing the second shot, but they retain possession on the out of bounds. Brinkley with the ball at the top, over to Hooks on the side. Loses the ball, a great steal by Barley, but Trent Neal with it back and misses. And the outlet to Barley. But John Livingston can't catch up to the pass, and Franklin will get the ball. 5-4 Franklin over East. Early first quarter in the AAA championship, exclusively here on WOKR 13. Brinkley inbounding the ball to Marcus Davis.
Franklin's shooting 2 for 10 from the floor right now, which is uncharacteristic of Franklin Ball Club.
Marcus Davis underneath. No, but a foul. Ken Taylor with his second. Now, how deep is East underneath? You know, if Taylor were to get into foul trouble, or Livingston for that matter, you know, they talk about the depth of Franklin, that they can go with 10 guys. And here we see the replay of Davis going underneath. How deep is East?
Marcus Davis on that drive is just an excellent baseline player. His move off the baseline is one of the best I've seen.
Okay, East getting the ball, but Franklin right back. Marcus Davis underneath. Goes over Livingston for the bucket. Marcus Davis, his first 2 points of the night. And a full court press again by Franklin. East pushes up court, but a foul.
To get back to your question before, Fred, East side does not have the depth inside that Franklin has. If they were to get into foul trouble, you'd have to counter probably with Dan Cherry or possibly Rob Gray.
East with the ball. Farley near center court. Quinn Smith will just bring it out all over again. Down by 3 to Franklin, 7-4, Quakers in front. 4.5 left in the first quarter.
Now Franklin's ahead here, and they do not have to play aggressively on defense if they don't want to.
It's Barley, heavy pressure. Will go back outside to Smith.
The team that's behind must initiate the action, whether you're on defense or offense.
And it's Barley from way outside, air ball. Marcus Davis with the rebound. Franklin on the break. Terry Brinkley inside to Henry Hooks, yes. Henry Hooks, who many consider the purest shooter in Section 5. Bridges pushes East the other way, and he is double teamed. Outside to Quinn Smith. Coach, how long do you stay in a patient offense when you're down by 5?
Well, 5 is not a bad number to have to come back from. But they have to score off of it, and right now they're turning the ball over, so he may have to start taking the ball to the basket.
Another one moments ago by Marcus Davis. He recovers that turnover and unable to capitalize is Terry Brinkley. We go the other way, and John Livingston, good. Oh, do they move it down court fast.
Excellent play, nice pass by Quinn Smith, hitting John Livingston to the basket.
Sal Rizzo pushing his troops on here in that outrageously red vest.
That's his lucky vest, Fred.
Henry Hooks popping air ball from the outside, and Quinn Smith underneath with the rebound. They'll try to break it out now. Barley with the ball. Barley all the way. No good. Dan Cherry now in the game for East, number 42. Brinkley with the ball underneath for Franklin. Inside to Trent Neal, who hits it. Trent Neal with his 4th point of the game. And Franklin is in front 11-6. Quinn Smith, no good. Rebound Smith again, and he hits his own rebound.
Number 25, Quinn Smith.
And we have a timeout on the Franklin bench. We'll have more from the War Memorial in just a few seconds. Here on Channel 13, the score, Franklin 11, East 8. You're watching Section 5 basketball on WOKR 13. I thought you wanted to go to commercial. Yeah, I'm here. What's wrong with mine? What? Okay, because this one's, I can't hear anything in this. Chuck, I can't hear anything. No, that's better. All right, that's better. All right. Yeah, it's in my briefcase, Harry.
You cannot remain on the concourse or in any aisle. You must take a seat and not be standing in an aisle.
Hey, Chuck, I thought we were going to commercial in the second quarter, not the first. All right. Back at the War Memorial here exclusively on WOKR 13 for the 20th consecutive season of the Section 5 Basketball Class AAA Championship, where number 1 Franklin leads number 2 East 11-8 right now. Franklin having called a timeout, head coach Trent Jackson wanting to talk it over. They have possession, and Henry Hooks about to bring the ball in to Terry Brinkley.
Terry Brinkley already has 3 assists in this first period, Fred. You can see the value of Brinkley at that point guard position.
Hooks from the outside, miles away, no good. We'll go the other way, and it's Dan Barley trying to force the action, and he cannot. Corey Poindexter in the game gets the ball back. He's back for the first time. Poindexter, a former starter, now a 6th man. It's Henry Hooks underneath, inside to Marcus Davis, no good.
No basket. No basket.
The basket is not good, there's a foul.
He's foul on number 22.
Dan Cherry, his first foul of the game. Cherry entering the game just a few moments ago. Here's a quick look underneath at Cherry trying for that, or for Marcus Davis trying for that basket, and Cherry with the foul. East now with the ball. They'll go to the other end. It's Cherry. He'll pop. And no good. In and out. Rebound underneath. No. And Poindexter has the ball for Franklin. Brinkley on the break. Slows it up just a bit. Keith McLean for Franklin over on the left side. He's in the game for the first time for Franklin as Trent Jackson has gone back to that freely substituting that he has seen much of the season. And it's good for Franklin. They're looking great right now, up 13-8 in the first quarter, just under 2 minutes left. And East looking for some air.
That was Henry Hook's second basket in 7 attempts. He's not having a good night shooting at this point, Fred.
Quinn Smith out to Barley. Inside to Smith again. Livingston looking for the ball, but no one gets it to him. Bridges on the outside. Bridges will try it. No good. Rebound underneath Poindexter. No, it's taken by Smith. Poindexter blocks the shot, and now McLean with the ball for Franklin. And it's Hooks. No good. Ball loose underneath. And it is East ball.
That was not a good shot by Hooks. He's struggling a little bit right now.
Ken Taylor re-entering the game for East. Dan Cherry sitting down. Cherry not in the game very long. Really, as Sal Rizzo told us on Thursday, his starting five was about the five he was going to have to live with, but he felt that these were the guys that got him this far, and this is what he was going to stick with.
Yeah, East bench is not as deep as Franklin, and you got to go what got you here all year.
Taylor with the bucket. He's at 4, and it's 13-10, Franklin in front. Henry Hooks with the ball. Marcus Davis looking for it. Brinkley over to McLean. It's Hooks looking for the shot. He'll take it. Air ball. Having his problems over there on the right side tonight, Dick.
Yes, he is. He's forcing his shots.
East forces the pass. It is intercepted by Terry Brinkley. Brinkley, yes! No basket. An offensive foul on Terry Brinkley.
East did a good job of getting back and setting up in defense to cause that charge.
Brinkley, having intercepted, the pass goes in.
You can see he took it in, but the defense was set, and once you're up in the air, there's no way you can prevent that charge from happening.
Terry Brinkley having a great game. 3 steals, 4 assists, but unfortunately on that play, ran into some heavy wall of flesh there. Sal Rizzo looking on with his arms crossed. That vest is something else, Dick.
Well, I've seen him wear that many a time when he's had big ball games, and I'll tell you, he's won a lot of games with that vest on. So,
Quinn Smith missing there, and will go the other way for Franklin, and it's Torrey Poindexter who will fire. No good. Dan Barley gets the rebound, but travels.
He came down with the ball, and that's a travel, Fred.
So Marcus Davis will get the ball out for Franklin.
There's the shot. I think Poindexter maybe rushed it a little bit. He hasn't really gotten into the offensive flow.
And back to live action. Trent Neal missing it right at the buzzer at the end of the first quarter. The score, Franklin over East, 13-10. You're watching Section 5 basketball on WOKR 13.
The winner of this game will be the AAA champion. They will also be the Class A state representative. And the winner of this game will play a week from tonight at 8:30 in the Class A Western Regionals against a team from Section 6.
Wayne, you take the man that picked you, he'll take your man. All right. He just steps out and get the offensive foul. Now I don't need any more.
Welcome back to the War Memorial, exclusively here on WOKR 13. You're watching East Franklin basketball, where after one quarter, the top-ranked Quakers lead East by a score of 13-10. The Orientals head coach Sal Rizzo giving instructions to his team. He was back here in 1983, but was unable to win the championship as a very, very difficult Webster team beat them out. Dick, you've got some first quarter stats that really tell a story, don't they?
Yeah, for Franklin, leading scorers are Henry Hooks with 4 and Trent Neal with 4. And for East, John Livingston and Ken Taylor have 4 apiece.
Franklin controls the second quarter tip. Brinkley misses, and East recovers. They bring it up court very quickly now. Dan Barley with the ball on the right side. And Quinn Smith hits the brakes.
Well, they're going to keep the ball out and slow the ball down on offense and take their chances, keep the game close.
Quinn Smith back to Bridges. Marcus Davis looking for a steal. Bridges over to Barley. He'll pure shooter. He'll fire.
Not a good shot, Fred. Not a good shot at all.
Rebound underneath by Collier. Franklin with the ball, and it's Brinkley, their ball handler. Heavy pressure from Barley. Trent Neal with it inside to Collier. He'll fire. No good. Rebound Neal. He'll do it.
Trent Neal does a good job of hitting the offensive boards, especially for a guard. Franklin is an excellent offensive rebounding team.
Trent Neal with 6 points unofficially as it's 15-10 Franklin. Underneath a great basket right there. And East pulls within 3, 15-12. Franklin going the other way. It is Brinkley. Neal trying to get it inside, intercepted by Livingston, and Barley on the break for East. Loses control, and it's Collier, and Franklin goes the other way. Underneath to Marcus Davis. No good. Brinkley will bring it out. Torrey Poindexter all alone underneath, but nobody wants to give him the ball. Trent Neal from way outside. Good. Neal with 8 points.
He can hit that shot if you give it to him, Fred. He's got a good outside shot.
All right, 17-12 Franklin in the darker tops defending against East. Dan Barley with the ball. Inside to Quinn Smith. No good. Bridges with the rebound. And he's hacked. Up. Tempers beginning to flare underneath. Quinn Smith not liking what Marcus Davis did. Smith very unhappy. But a foul is called. Here's the replay, Dick.
It's a good rebound by Steve Bridges. Nobody blocked him out. He put it up, and he got fouled over the top by Marcus Davis. It was a good foul by Marcus. Instead of giving up the easy basket, he's going to make him earn the 2 from the line.
Bridges to the line, shooting 2. The first is no good. Quinn Smith, a very intense player, the only junior in the starting lineup. An excellent ball player and shooter, but he's had his problems tonight.
Yes, he has, but he's got a lot of talent, and I don't expect him to be struggling all night.
Smith with just 2 points. Bridges looking for his first point of the night. No good. But Ken Taylor with a rebound underneath. He loses the ball out of bounds. Franklin will take over. And Sal's getting more gray hairs.
This game can do that to you. It can make you hold very quick.
It's Henry Hooks to Brinkley at the top. To Marcus Davis, who will drive, and good. What a great play by Marcus Davis.
He's a fantastic ball player.
Okay, Coach, you're now running the East show, and you're down by 7. What do you do?
Well, I think he still has to be patient. I think they're going to have to start scoring when they're getting those opportunities inside. They've missed some good shots. Barley has been struggling. If he becomes untracked, I think that's going to help East High's offense quite a bit.
Franklin head coach Trent Jackson telling his players to go out and meet them, telling Henry Hooks what to do. Barley with the ball for East now almost at center court, back inside to Bridges. Bridges underneath, oh good. Rebound, Livingston, who gets the basket and the foul. John Livingston, a guy who was ineligible in the first half of the season. In fact, when these two teams met back in December at East High
There's
during
Bridges,
the
he gets by in the baseline, and Collier had to help out and pick up, and Livingston was left alone. He put the ball up and got fouled.
Livingston, a big key in that first game that East blew Franklin right off the court without him. This time he might help things out considerably. Livingston having a great game with 7 points unofficially. Hooks with the ball. Inside to Brinkley, who'll fire and hit.
That was a nice pass by Henry Hooks.
21-15, Franklin over East. Barley with the ball for the Orientals. Quinn Smith looking things over. To Bridges. Ken Taylor standing all alone left side, but no ball. Inside to Barley. Now to Taylor, who will turn and fire. Air ball. Rebound, Livingston, good.
Nobody's blocking out John Livingston on their weak side, Fred. And if they don't start doing that, Franklin's going to be in an awful lot of trouble.
Livingston, the game's leading scorer with 9 points. 4.5 left, second quarter, 21-17 Franklin. It's Brinkley, left side. Back out to Marcus Davis. Way outside, Davis hits. What a fantastic shot, and the reason I would think many colleges are looking at this guy.
Fred, he can go outside, he can go inside. He's a natural player.
East remaining in that patient game. Quinn Smith left side, trying to force Franklin to come out and play them. Down by 6. It's Steve Bridges. Will drive. And a foul. Torrey Poindexter going down on the play. Bridges will go to the line for the 1-and-1. No, he'll get a 2-shot foul here as he was in the act.
There's Bridges going in, and the defense was late in getting over there. Subsequently, it's a blocking foul, and Bridges will be shooting 2 shots.
Bridges hits the first. His first point of the game. Missing the second, but on the rebound, Ken Taylor helping out. A great play there, and they make it a 3-point play, only down by 3 now, 23-20. Marcus Davis at the other end capitalizes immediately. What a great play by him. He's got 8 points already. 25-20, Franklin.
East didn't do a good job of getting back on defense, Fred, after they stole that off the missed foul shot.
No charge there as Barley goes in. It's Livingston from the side and gets the roll.
Once again, Barley with the penetration. The defense had to pick him up, and he dished off to Livingston on the short baseline.
Marcus Davis, right side. No. Marcus Davis gets the ball back and gets it over to Henry Hooks. Hooks has been relatively quiet tonight, just 4 points. One of their top shooters. Davis been shooting from everywhere. Misses there. Quinn Smith with the rebound for East.
John Livingston's having a real good night, Fred. He's 5 for 6 already in the ball game.
A little over 2.5 left, first half. East down by 3, looking to pull as close as they've been in some time. Franklin is at a comfortable margin much of the first half. Livingston misses, and underneath there is a foul. A 2-shot foul. East will go to the line. No,
I think that foul's against East.
it is an offensive foul on East, and Franklin will get possession. So the Orientals miss out on a possible 1-point game there, down by 3. And Brinkley will take it out. Dan Cherry now back in the game for East. Ken Taylor sitting down.
Sitting in a 2-3 zone, Fred.
Marcus Davis with the ball to Brinkley. Will fire. And 3 guys collide at once, and the foul is on Dan Barley. Sal Rizzo not crazy about that. Neither is Ken Taylor, who unofficially has 3 fouls.
The shot goes up, and it comes off to the wing, and nobody blocked Henry Hooks out, and he fouled it in and got fouled in the process.
All right, Terry Brinkley wandering back onto the court as his teammate Henry Hooks goes to the line, trying to add to their 3-point lead. The first of the 1-and-1 is good. Hooks with 5 points. And the second bounces out. Livingston with the rebound for East, down by 4. Just a bit over 2 minutes left in the first half. Quinn Smith double team.
They're trapping him out there.
Barley with the ball now. He'll fire. Oh, yes.
That might be what Dan Barley needs to get on track.
His first points of the game. Dan Barley, an 18-point-a-game average. Just his first bucket of the night. And it's East down by 2, and a steal, but a foul. Yes, Barley hacked him.
Marcus Davis saw the opening. He split Bridges. There he goes. He split Barley and Bridges, and Barley came up with the foul, reaching in.
Barley with his second foul. Marcus Davis to the line. The first of the 1-and-1 is good. Davis now with 9 points unofficially. The senior forward possibly headed to the University of Illinois next year. The alma mater of his head coach, Trent Jackson. Davis hits the second.
Very
now
smooth
10 points for Davis. .144 left first half. Dan Barley brings it across the midcourt stripe for East. He'll fire. No good. Marcus Davis with the ball. And the lead for Franklin. Brinkley, right side. East back quickly. Hooks fires from long range. Good! Hooks with 7 points. And it is East down by 6 now.
Quinn Smith is Eastside's leading rebounder with 6, and Marcus Davis is Franklin's rebounding leader with 4.
And Terry Brinkley with the ball for Franklin. Torrey Poindexter, left side, yes. Torrey Poindexter with his first points of the night. Now it is East with their biggest deficit, or Franklin their biggest lead of the night. 8 points separating the two. East with the ball with 52 seconds showing on the clock.
Eastside needs to score here, Fred. They don't want to let this game get away.
Dan Barley having his problems tonight. Just 2 points, an 18-point-a-game average, and 4 turnovers on the Orientals. They will probably hold for one shot here, Dick.
I think so. They don't want to let Franklin get another possession.
Barley looking for that last opening and trying to buy some time here to work it down for the last few seconds. Franklin ready to play that game with an 8-point lead. Just 14 seconds left on the clock. Trent Jackson watching intently. Barley with the ball. They'll now try to hit the basket. It's Bridges who loses the ball. Barley with a backdoor fire from forever. No! Rebound Livingston. No basket. It is no good. So at the end of the first half, it is WOKR's top-ranked Franklin ahead of number 2 East, 32-24. Just a great game, Dick. What do you think of it so far?
Well, I think Franklin's basically doing what they want and push the ball up. East is struggling in their half-court offense of holding the ball, but it's still an 8-point game. Anything can happen. I'm sure that Coach Rizzo is going to go out there and tell his players, 8 points is...
Okay, here is the last bucket is tried by East. They are unable to make it. Franklin able to hold off that ticking off the clock there as they go into the locker room with an 8-point lead. Right now, again, WOKR's top-ranked Franklin in front of number 2 East, 32-24. Edison head coach Dick O'Toole, who's doing our color, walking on over to interview Trent Jackson here courtside. But before we have that, let's go to a commercial break. Once again, our score here exclusively on WOKR 13. Number 1 Franklin beating number 2 East, 32-24 at half. Stay with us. Back courtside where Franklin leads East 32-24. Let's go to the other courtside with Franklin head coach Trent Jackson and Dick O'Toole.
We're at halftime here at the Section 5 Class AAA Championships between East High and Franklin, with Franklin up by 8 points. With me is Franklin coach Trent Jackson. Coach, how do you think your team played the first half? You're up by 8. You got to be pleased with that.
Quite pleased. I thought we played defense well, especially when East went to their 4 corners. Just a matter of coming out the second half, keeping up the same intensity, and hopefully make a few more baskets.
Did East High surprise you at all by coming out into the 4 corners?
We prepared for it all week. First game, they didn't play 4 corners. The second game, they tried 4 corners for about a quarter, so it didn't surprise us, no.
Do you anticipate any kind of major changes in your offensive or defensive alignment for the second half?
We're going to go with basically the same 5 or 6 fellas that wouldn't play in the first half.
Thanks very much, Coach. I know you want to get to your players. Now back to you, Fred.
Thanks, Dick. Once again, Franklin and head coach Trent Jackson looking good right now, up by 8 over East. The score 32-24 as our continuing coverage of the Class AAA Championship. During a halftime intermission, we have a lot of good things coming up for you, including something that happened this past Thursday at the RT French Luncheon. There were many awards for the different classifications for Coaches of the Year, and let's go to that right now with Chuck Chadwick. Fred Cowgill and Edison head coach Dick O'Toole back at the War Memorial, where right now at the Section 5 AAA Basketball Championship, number 1 Franklin leads number 2 East 32-24. We will have second half game action in just a few moments. In fact, a wrap of the first half, some stats for you, some interesting things. But first, of course, there are 5 other classes in Section 5, and all of those games are now complete. This is the only one left being played, and we have highlights of all 5 classes for you. Saturday, it was the Class B Championship with Wheatland Chilai and the Darker Tops against Lions. The Scotsman led by Mike Johnson. He goes underneath, gets the eventual tip-in for a 29-21 lead. He had 14 points. The Lions right back with Ed Brinson. Brinson with 16 points, including 2 right here, and Lyons takes a 33-32 lead on the bucket. His teammate Clarence Potter later, he goes underneath for 2 of his 21 points. This one right at the buzzer of the first half as Lyons goes into the locker room with a 39-34 halftime lead. Second half, Lions, Tim Blaisdell, he opens up a 9-point lead for Lions with a 59-50 basket. That's in the fourth quarter. But then John Barker ties it with just 53 seconds left. He helps send it into overtime. Wheatland Chi-Li and Lions tied at 63 when Gary Leonard locks it down for Wheatland Chi-Li. The Scotsmen taking their very first sectional championship in a 72-67 overtime win. And in the Class C championship, it was Honeoye and the Light Tops against Romulus. Joe Rosica on the break for 2 of his 15 points. It's Honeoye in front 32-23. Romulus tries to stay in it. The steal and the layup underneath for Steve Vadir. He has a team high 10 points. It's 36-26. But the rest is all Honeoye. Larry Zacher, 19 points. A game high with the inside move. Honeoye in front 44-26. And later Zacher puts it away for keeps with the 3-point play. Underneath for the great basket, 51-36 Honeoye. They go on to beat Romulus 58-36 for their second sectional championship in 3 years. And as it turns out, I was stretching the truth just a little bit. Unfortunately, we do not have Class D highlights. Last night at Alfred University, unfortunately just a bit too far away for our cameras, Prattsburg was a 1-point winner over North Star. Great season for Prattsburg. We will be back in just a few moments here at the War Memorial, but the score right now in the Section 5 AAA Basketball Championship, Franklin over East 32-24. Stay with us. And thank you, Michael. Here with Section 5 President Pete Schreiber. Pete, it's been some season for you.
It's great. It's a tremendous basketball climax that we're witnessing this evening.
So many have told me as I've traveled around the state, of course I was born in upstate New York, that this is the premier tournament. We've talked about it before. The Section 5 basketball has been a model of not just other sections in New York State, but really around the country.
Seeing the other sections and their highlights of their tournaments, I think Section 5 has to be tops. The number of participants that they have, along with the people working on the committee, it's a first-class operation for us. We're very proud of Gene Johnson and his committee for all the work that they do in preparing this tournament.
What do you think of tonight's game?
Very, very, very exciting. It's hard to predict the outcome at the present time.
You already figured out my next question.
Yes, I have.
All right, Pete, thanks for being with us. Section 5 President Pete Schreiber. Also in this halftime intermission, we just have about a minute and a half left. Dick O'Toole joining us again, Edison Tech's head coach, and also doing the color tonight. Let's take a quick look at some of the highlights from the first half, Dick, and some of the high scorers. Of course, Franklin came out of the gate very strong, as they always seem to. We're going to highlights right here. And Terry Brinkley just so tough in a
Brinkley
rebound.
shoots this ball up, misses. Hawkins Collier with a nice rebound and soft touch, putting in for the 2.
And then Henry Hooks so tough for Franklin as well.
Henry struggled in the beginning shooting, but you can't keep a good player down.
Now later in the game, East Steve Bridges tried to bring them back, but all of a sudden they were down by 8 points.
It was a good move, penetrated well, put the ball up nice and soft, and it went in.
Marcus Davis, so tough for them this season, and he's got 10 points right now.
He's a very smooth ball player. He could be the best ball player in Section 5.
Then Torrey Poindexter, their 6th man, again playing so tough. Let's go to those halftime stats for a quick look at the board. There you see Marcus Davis on top. He leads with 10 points, and then it's Trent Neal, Henry Hooks, Terry Brinkley, Hawkins Collier, and Torrey Poindexter. On the other side of the slate, the East Orientals, Dan Barley with just 2 points. They're pure shooter, an average of 18 a game. He just has 2 points in this game. A big story right there. Steve Bridges with 3, Quinn Smith 2, Ken Taylor 4. John Livingston, what a story there. A guy that came on late in the season after the academic ineligibilities in the early half of the season. He has got 11 points. And Dan Cherry coming in late in the game as a 6th man, scoring just 2 points. Another big story, Ken Taylor, a guy that has played very well for East this season, a big man underneath, 6'3", 200 pounds. He has got 3 personal fouls.
That could be a factor later on in the game because they need that rebounding strength inside because Franklin does a very good job of crashing the boards. But John Livingston, he's kept East High in the ballgame. If it wasn't for John Livingston, East High could be down by a lot more. With Barley struggling, Livingston has picked up the slack, and it could help East High if Barley can become on track.
Okay, Got to interrupt a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Just moments away from the second half tip-off here at the War Memorial. Franklin leading East for the Class AAA Championship of Section 5 basketball. The score now 32-24. Franklin going for consecutive titles. That hasn't been done since East, in fact, won it in 1978 and 79. Torrey Poindexter going to the midcourt stripe for Franklin, along with John Livingston for East, and Franklin controls the ball. Marcus Davis with it. Franklin now moving right to left, and a foul underneath. Hawkins Collier with the ball at the time. This will be a non-shooting foul.
Number 50.
John Livingston with the foul. Franklin will keep the ball. Livingston's first foul.
Franklin's gone to a little bigger lineup while Torrey Poindexter replacing Brent Neal.
Franklin ball.
I don't know if Neal is injured or not. He's hasn't played for quite a while now.
Why do you think they've gone to the taller lineup?
Well, maybe to counter John Livingston, who's having a super fine game.
Bridges underneath misses, and Franklin gets the ball back. Henry Hooks with the ball and on the move. To Poindexter on the wing, who will hold it up. And Terry Brinkley will start it all over again.
With this lineup, it moves Marcus Davis from the inside out to a guard position.
Marcus Davis, who will end up playing guard in college, as he's only about 6'3", play possibly a shooting guard in college, and with the ball right now against Steve Bridges, and loses the ball to Dan Barley. What a pass to Bridges, inadvertent though it might be, and Hawkins Collier gets it back for Franklin.
Dan's got to settle down a little bit. He's still playing a little bit out of control. East High has come out into man-to-man defense.
They're trying to force the action now?
Yeah, I think they feel that's what they need to do to get back into this ball game.
And a foul on Terry Brinkley. The very respectable crowd not liking it too much. There must be at least 3,500 here as a good part of the War Memorial stands are filled. Here's a replay on the move.
He made the penetration move, but Ken Taylor was there, and after he dished off, he hit Taylor, and it's fouls on Brinkley.
So Trent Jackson, who's already lost most of his voice, as you might have heard in the opening lineups, not crazy about that call, but still in control by 8 points, and Dan Barley with the ball for East.
Trent Neal has replaced Terry Brinkley. We'll see if there is an injury problem with Neal or just that Coach Jackson was working with a different lineup.
Barley with the ball, top of the key, will fire. The double pump misses. And Marcus Davis comes up with the ball. Blocked by Livingston.
That was good defense by John Livingston. He altered Marcus Davis' shot.
Livingston playing a major factor in this game. In fact, if it weren't for Livingston and his 11 points, they wouldn't be in the game right now. And Sal Rizzo knows it. Ball outletted to Marcus Davis. To Trent Neal. He'll try it. And Livingston rebounds for East. Out to Barley.
Nice pass down floor.
Ken Taylor, no good. Rebound, Hawkins Collier. And they'll go the other way. Trent Neal with the ball. And it's Torrey Poindexter. Looking for help, finds it in Marcus Davis. To Henry Hooks with the shot. No good. And a foul. Little elbow underneath.
Number 20, Steve Bridges. That's his first.
Steve Bridges.
Steve anxious to grab their rebound, cleared his man out.
So Franklin with the ball and the lead by 8, 32-24. That's the way it stood at halftime. We've eaten up a couple minutes already of this third quarter. No score in the third quarter yet. Trent Neal will try, but he doesn't get it. Underneath, Hawkins Collier misses. He keeps trying though. Finally, it's East and Steve Bridges. Bridges wheeling and dealing, but ends up empty. The ball is loose, and they'll give it to East. Dan Barley, one of the big stories for East in terms of his invisibility. Just one basket and 8 attempts tonight. An 18-point-a-game average, and he only has 2 points. 10 shots this second half, and nobody has a bucket. Bridges misses underneath, but a foul.
That was a nice drive by Steve Bridges. He saw the opening. With his quickness, he went right down the middle. Put the ball up.
Bridges to the line in the two-shot foul. He was in the act. Still looking for the first points of the third quarter. And Sal Rizzo wants them both. East looking to slow things down. They've certainly done that, but they have yet to put any points on the board. They finally do. Bridges with just his 4th point of the night.
Both teams seem to have been a little tight throughout the game in their shooting, Fred.
Misses the other end, and Trent Neal with the ball for Franklin. Heavy pressure, but he'll keep it. It's Torrey Poindexter left side, back to Henry Hooks. Up to Marcus Davis, will fire. A lot of metal there, and a foul underneath. An offensive foul. Trent Neal pushing off.
Foul number 25, Trent Neal.
Yeah, he got caught on that time, but Trent Neal is a good offensive rebounder. Shot goes up, and you could see he pushed Ken Taylor in to get the better position, and the referee was right on the call.
So Neal sits down, and Terry Brinkley is back in the game after that move. Trent Jackson not crazy about it, I'm sure. Dan Barley with the ball, loses it, gets it over to Bridges, who hits. Bridges hits, and they're within 5. East is. Franklin with the ball. Poindexter to Hooks. To Terry Brinkley. All the way in the corner, stolen by Ken Taylor of East.
That's just good defensive play by Ken Taylor.
East could pull as close as they've been since really the middle of the first half. Down by 5, they could pull within 3. Just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter. It's Ken Taylor, who'll fire. No good. Rebound.
There's John Livingston inside again.
No. Rebound. Barley who'll fire.
There's a nice tip.
Loose underneath. A whole bunch of guys.
John Livingston again. Quinn Smith, Ken Taylor.
5-6 shots, and East cannot capitalize. Franklin on the 4-on-1. It's Marcus Davis. Yes. Big play there, Dick.
Yes, East High had 3-4 people inside trying to get their rebound. They couldn't get it in. Franklin cleared it, and they got the ball out, and they caught East with only 1 man back, and they wound up scoring the bucket.
And Oriental's head coach Sal Rizzo is so unhappy about it, he's called timeout, so will we. 3:37 left in the third quarter. We're on WOKR 13. Franklin leads East 34-27. We'll be back in just a second.
Winner. I'll tell you right now, you had easy shots in there. Come on, you got to press.
Franklin over East by 7, and this is the reason why, Dick O'Toole. East with lots of chances underneath, and they aren't able to capitalize.
There's Dan Barley with the initial shot. Comes off the board. East with a tip, no good. Inside position with a rebound. It's Livingston, his shot, no good. Inside again, Quinn Smith. Now over to Ken Taylor. His shot is no good. Finally, Franklin gets the rebound and pushed it up for the 2 points.
Back to live action, and it's Quinn Smith. No good.
Not a good shot. Not a good shot.
Marcus Davis has it stolen by Barley. 1-on-1 with Brinkley. Loses it to Brinkley. 3-on-2. To Torrey Poindexter. Will go the other way. All alone is Quinn Smith. Yes!
That was a nice pass by Steve Bridges. Good look down court.
East within 5. Brinkley with the ball for Franklin. Loses control but gets it back. Smith with heavy pressure. Torrey Poindexter underneath. No good. Rebound Barley. Outlet to Smith.
Nice move by Quinn Smith.
Oh, what a hoop! Quinn Smith.
That was a super move by Quinn Smith. Control the ball, nice behind the back dribble, up for the easy 2 points. And I tell you, he was getting some good defensive pressure from Terry Brinkley.
Quinn Smith with just 6 points, but man, the last 4 have been so timely. East at one point down by as many as 8, is pulled within 3, 34-31, 2.5 left. Marcus Davis, a leading scorer with 12. Livingston with 11. Quinn Smith, interestingly enough, the leading rebounder in the game with 7.
Everybody, the minute you go down here, who's going to stay back there? Just do what we've been doing, but you want to do everything now.
Jordan likes to get in there.
Hey, brother, you know what you're doing. Everybody wants to start challenging you now. Everybody wants to challenge everybody. All you got to do, fellas, is pass the ball.
Trent has a few words. What would you tell your team right now, Coach?
Well, I think the main thing you have to tell them is, you're still ahead. Keep your composure on the floor. We made a little run, but we're still up. Don't get away from our game plan, but keep the composure. Do a better job rebounding. I think they're not rebounding as well as you'd like to have them rebound.
5.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Sal Rizzo, head coach of East, looking on and liking it because Franklin has only scored 2 points in the third quarter, both by Marcus Davis, while East has closed to within 3. Marcus Davis all alone.
There's the
a foul, though.
Out of bounds play. Franklin set it up. They broke Davis long. Quinn Smith did the only thing he could do, foul him, give him the 2 shots.
Just his first foul, so he has a lot to give. And it appeared to be a locked basket as on the wing.
There
Marcus is all alone.
Yes, he just raced around the court. He just out-quicked Quinn Smith on the initial break.
So Davis to the line, shooting 2. Up by 3 and looking for more. Marcus Davis with 13 points. Davis, a game-high 14 and a 5-point lead for Franklin, 36-31, 2.5 left in the third quarter. Davis averages 18 points a game and trying to get that, while Dan Barley, who averages 18 threes, has had none. Bridges misses underneath.
There's John Livingston again. That offensive rebound.
I'll make a correction there. Barley actually has 2 points for Franklin, or for East, I should say, actually averaging 18 points a game, though, and having their problems. They'll now tip it off. Livingston and Poindexter. It'll go to Bridges. East in control, trying to pull within 3. Henry hooks with a steal to Brinkley alone. Oh! A great stuff effort, but a miss Marcus Davis, but they finally put it in. Franklin with a key bucket there, up by 7, 38-31.
Once again, that was all keyed off the turnover from Barley.
Dan Barley struggling tonight. Quinn Smith tries to bring them back. No good. Rebound Marcus Davis and Franklin. Davis with the ball. They could open up a 9-point lead. The noise level in the War Memorial at times deafening here.
Nice
Barley.
defensive play by Ken Taylor, stepping in and taking that ball.
Taylor loses the ball and Franklin takes over.
Two sides going to full court pressure.
Hawkins Collier out to Brinkley. The Poindexter underneath. Yes.
Nice reverse layup by Poindexter.
Corey Poindexter, just his 4th point of the night. And now Franklin with their biggest lead, 40-31, a 9-point lead. Just 1 minute left in the third quarter. And East, quite frankly, looks a little tired. Everybody touched the ball on that one, and all alone is Corey Poindexter for Franklin. Terry Brinkley with 7 assists, Corey Poindexter with 6 points, and an 11-point lead for Franklin, their biggest.
East seems to have lost their composure a little bit, Fred. They're taking shots that aren't all good shots. And Franklin's rebounding, pushing the ball up, and converting it the other end.
Quinn Smith, his 2nd foul, very unhappy. Sal trying to calm him down. Franklin with the ball. And an 11-point lead. Trent Jackson.
East has their work cut out for him. Nice pass down court. Poindexter in nice position. Made sure of it.
Back to live action. Poindexter with the most spectacular basket of the night so far. Terry Brinkley with the ball now. And they are rocking behind us here. This Franklin crowd wants more.
He's foul number 22,
Dan Barley with a foul there. His third personal foul.
Bonus situation for Franklin.
East now with 5 fouls, so Franklin in the bonus. Charlie Brinkley will go to the line shooting the 1-and-1. 12 seconds left in the third quarter. Brinkley shooting the first. No good. But Corey Poindexter with a rebound, no good. And Marcus Davis, no good. 5 seconds left. Brinkley saves it. All alone is Quinn Smith. 2-1. The basket is...
That's a good basket. Referee Mike Palermo signaled 2. I believe it was
the
no
basket
question
is
about
good.
it.
So, Quinn Smith makes up for a little bit.
Good hustle on Franklin's part. Couldn't keep the ball in play. Nice pass by Ken Taylor. Caught Quinn Smith streaking down the floor. Quinn looked up at the clock, realized he had enough time, didn't have to take a jump shot, and took it right to the basket for the 2.
Quinn Smith with 8 points. East down by 9, 42-33. We'll be back in just a few seconds. You're watching Section 5 basketball on WOKR 13. Fred Cowgill and Dick O'Toole back at the War Memorial, where Franklin leads East in the Section 5 basketball class AAA championship 42-33. Dick, just 8 minutes left of basketball, 1 quarter. What do you tell your kids when you're Sal Rizzo and the Orientals?
Well, Sal's just got to tell his kids, hey, it's 8 minutes of hard basketball now. They got to go get it. They got to avoid the turnovers, and they're going to have to start pushing the ball up the floor maybe a little bit more, and maybe gamble a little bit more on defense. Going to have to try to create some turnovers and get back in this ball game.
The tip-off for the fourth quarter, controlled by East. Quinn Smith, who sank that bucket right at the end of the third quarter to bring them within 9. Over to Dan Barley. Marcus Davis leading all scorers with 14 points. Bridges' shot is blocked by Franklin, and Marcus Davis blocked a second time by Davis. Bridges will try a third time.
Nice
underneath
pass.
this time. Oh! To Quinn Smith with a bucket and the foul. It counts.
That was good determination on both teams' parts.
Foul charge to number 24, Jerry Poindexter. That's his fourth team foul.
There's the block by Davis. Bridges foul, gets his rebound, spots Quinn Smith underneath, open, dishes off for the 2, and he gets fouled.
Quinn Smith looking for his 11th point of the night. Yes. And East down by 6, 42-36, 7:40 left. You start thinking about foul problems right about now, too. Dan Barley in trouble with 3. Oh! Poindexter underneath. The basket is not good, but a foul.
He's foul number 50.
Good play by Torrey Poindexter. He saw the opening, took it to the basket, and got fouled in the process.
Poindexter will shoot 2.
2 shots.
Ken Taylor, the man in biggest foul trouble for East with 3 personal fouls. Team shooting Franklin has 33%, East 31. Not the prettiest day in the world, but Franklin getting the job done here. Troy Poindexter hitting the first of 2. It's Franklin by 7. Poindexter now with 7 points. Make that 8. Trent Neal goes in now. Poindexter leaves the game. Back to that 3-guard offense. Hooks, Brinkley, and Neal. Back to the starting lineup for Franklin. Marcus Davis, the only forward. Hawkins Collier, the center. East with the ball. Quinn Smith over to Barley from way outside. Loose ball underneath. Smith gets it back. That guy seems to always be in the right place at the right time.
He really has a nose for the ball. But
Smith.
Kenny Taylor gets it stripped by Trent Neal, but Trent stepped out of bounds. Fine defensive play.
East ball.
So Quinn Smith and East retain possession, down by 8, as they have been for much of the game. Oh, the alley-oop inside to Livingston. It's good.
Pretty play, Fred.
Number 50, John Livingston.
Livingston with 13 points. Terry Brinkley and Franklin. Henry Hooks, who's been rather quiet in the second half. Marcus Davis looking for another 2. No good. But tipped in.
I believe Henry Hooks got that tip.
I believe you're right. Henry Hooks now with 9 points.
He was in there with the land of the Giants.
Hooks with the bulk of his points in the first half, contributing there, and it is Franklin back on top by 8. 6.5 left, time running out for East. Underneath to Livingston, way outside to Barley. The shot is no good, but a foul. Terry Brinkley, the man who fouled. And Dan Barley will go to the line. Dan Barley again, averaging 18 points a game, has just 2. When your leading scorer comes up dead empty, Coach, where do you look next?
Well, you have to hope that the other players can pick up the slack. And in this case, I think John Livingston has done a fine job of doing that. But Franklin just keeps coming at you. You have to stop him at the other end.
Barley hitting 1 of 2, just 3 points on the game. And Trent Neal comes back for Franklin. Surprisingly, although East is down by 7 right now, they actually have been out-rebounding Franklin on the offensive boards, 16 to 11. They've even out-rebounded them overall. East with 28 to Franklin's 21 offensive rebounds, but down by 7, 46-39, 6 minutes left in the game.
No shot!
And Trent Jackson, if he hasn't lost his voice by now, looks like he might very soon. Let's take a look at it as Livingston gets his 3rd foul, and Trent's player Marcus Davis goes to the line.
Marcus made a nice move from the weak side to break into the paint area, received the ball, put it up, and was fouled in the process.
Marcus hitting the first of 2.
Both teams are going to be in the 1-on-1 from here on out, Fred, so we might see a parade to the foul line as the game gets down to the final minutes.
If you were East, would you start fouling heavily to catch up?
Well, I don't know about right now. I think there's still time. I'd have to wait till maybe I get down around the 3-minute mark and see what the score is at that point.
Davis just 2 short of his average 18 points. He's got 16. Bridges with the ball for East. It is Rob Gray in the game for East. No good. Henry Hooks up to Brinkley for Franklin. Stolen by Gray and lost out of bounds, so Franklin retains possession. Heavy substitutions now for Franklin as Cowboy Collier comes in the game. Marvin Collier does. The guy with the ugly knee brace. We've talked about it before. He has certainly got an ugly brace, but one that obviously works as he looks good. It is Marcus Davis air ball, and Quinn Smith gets it back for East. And fires. Marcus Davis with the rebound. Smith gets it back. And Livingston follows for the hoop. East down by 7. Franklin calls timeout. So we'll do the same. 4th quarter. East losing to Franklin 48-41 in the battle of number 1 against number 2. We'll have more. No, we won't have a commercial break right now. Okay, let's in fact pick up the microphone in the huddle with head coach Trent Jackson if we can and see what he's telling his troops right now. No, instead we'll go to a replay.
Quinn Smith on the jump shot, misses, follows in his shot, steals the rebound from Marcus Davis, throws up a layup, misses, but there he is, John Livingston in the middle with a nice tap.
Boy, Livingston, he has been so tough. 15 points for John Livingston, just a point short of Marcus Davis, the leading scorer overall. What's Sal telling his players?
I think he's telling them, keep the pressure, but you're going to have to stop him.
Let's listen to Sal right now.
Tell yourself to hold it. Ready?
1, 2, 3, let's go. We're asked not to throw anything on the court. Referees are asking for your cooperation not to go.
Now, Coach, this could be important. Franklin only has 1 timeout left with 5 minutes left. Now, of course, they have the lead, but what happens if it gets right down to the wire?
Having only 1 timeout could be a factor. I know myself, I like to save my timeouts and be able to have them in the end. When you're playing a good team, game's going to be close. It gives you a chance to set your offense and defense a little bit and get your players in position where you want them. But if you don't have that timeout, it could be a factor if he's.
Okay, now we'll take a commercial break. With the score, Franklin 48 and East 41. You're watching Section 5 AAA basketball on WOKR 13. For the 20th straight year, WOKR 13 is proud to present Section 5 AAA basketball, where with 5 minutes left in the game. Number 1 Franklin leads number 2 East 48-41. Coach Dick O'Toole from Edison has joined us for the broadcast as the color man. Coach, why does the guy in the lead, Trent Jackson of Franklin, call a timeout when you only have 2 available with only 5 minutes left and you up by 7?
Well, I'm not sure, Fred. Maybe he wants to tell his players that he wants to go to a different offense and possibly slow the ball down a little bit, maybe spread East out, go to a 4-corner type offense and get nothing but layups, since they will be shooting 1-on-1s also.
Now, why would Trent have so many problems stopping John Livingston for East, a guy that has been very tough today, had so many points, some problems here on the floor right now. They're trying to clean up, so a momentary delay. But Livingston has been so good for East with 15 points.
Here comes that nice tip in by John Livingston. Shot goes up by Quinn, comes off, and John's in a perfect position, guides the ball back in. I think it's his experience in there. He's a senior, and he's going against some younger players in Poindexter and
Immediately after this game will be the AAA award.
Collier. That experience allowed him to get that good inside position and control the offensive boards.
Okay, of course, now Franklin's got a couple of big guys too. I mean, Torrey Poindexter is certainly no small guy, and I would think that he would have the ability to get in there and possibly block out Livingston, but Poindexter is only a sophomore, and while he's 6'4", is only 160 pounds. Is that playing a factor there?
I think so. John's a little bigger player, and as I said before, being the veteran, he's probably got a few tricks that he knows to get himself in that good offensive position, and the young players don't want to foul him, so sometimes they'll lay off and they'll give him the easy basket rather than foul him.
Let's talk about this. It's actually Torrey, not Toby Poindexter. It's Torrey Poindexter, but let's talk about this timeout for a second. There have been some problems with the floor, some paraphernalia falling on it. How does this affect momentum? You know, the guys have been sitting around now for 2 or 3 minutes, and apparently it's going to take a few minutes more to clear the floor, and head coach Trent Jackson really is unhappy with that situation, and nobody would be happy about it. Does that affect the team in the lead? You know, can it work for you when you're fighting back from being down by 7?
Well, I think from East standpoint, it gives Coach Rizzo a chance to talk to his team a little bit longer, regroup him, set his strategy for what he wants. In Franklin's standpoint, once again, the extra minute here or two is going to allow Coach Jackson to tell his team exactly how he wants them to play this last 5 minutes and 15 seconds of the game. Realizing he only has 1 timeout, I'm sure he doesn't want to have to take it, so I think he wants to get himself set for this last run.
A lot of incentives here for the Franklin Quakers. Of course, they are 19-2 overall this season and the defending AAA champions. No one has won consecutive titles in the AAA division since 1978 and 9 when East won back-to-back titles. So the Orientals, if they were to come back and beat Franklin, could stop that from happening. Of course, East is 20-1 on the season. The only loss all season long came in January to this same Franklin team. They met in December when many of the Franklin players, including Trent Neal and Terry Brinkley, their 2 top guards, were academically ineligible, and East just crushed them. And then back in January when the 2 met again, and they were both at full strength, Franklin took a big early lead. East came back and got an early 3rd quarter lead, and then Franklin went on to an 8-point victory. So both teams with a lot of experience, both teams almost completely filled with seniors in the starting positions, key roles. East going for their 15th sectional title, so from that standpoint, a lot of overall experience from their head coach, and Franklin going for their 10th. So a lot of experience on both sides. What are the mitigating factors at this point? You know, what does it really boil down to in these last 5 minutes?
I think both teams really, they just have to play the way they did to get them into this final game. You can't change it this time. East High is going to have to rely on their good pressure defense from here on out. And Franklin, I don't think you'll see them change a great deal. They're going to push the ball up the floor if the opportunity presents itself and take that ball to the basket. They're very good at it. It's just going to be a question now of who can execute their game the best this last 5 minutes. And East being down by the 7 points, they're going to have to maybe work a little bit harder at it.
Okay, well, the floor is finally clear, and Franklin will take the ball out. And there is a 5-second violation, so East will take over.
There's the East Side pressure. And once again, the layoff could have affected The lob pass inside to Livingston, he missed, got his own rebound and got fouled. He's playing a fantastic game on the inside.
Tried the little alley-oop as it worked before. He had 2 shots at it, didn't make it, but Livingston now the line for 2 shots. East down by 7. Livingston playing so well today, going for 2 more.
John Livingston with 1 more.
Livingston with 15 points, right behind game-high scorer Marcus Davis, who has cooled off some but has 16 at the moment. Livingston's second is good, and East is within 6 points. 48-42, just over 5 minutes left in the game. Trent Neal with the ball for Franklin. To Collier, over to Marcus Davis, who hits. So much for being cool.
East High was sort of in a passive half-court press there, and Franklin was able to get the ball to Davis, who was open, and when he's open, he can hit him.
Bridges misses. Rob Gray underneath goes for the rebound, and Trent Neal fouls again. If I'm not mistaken, unofficially, that's his 4th foul. Neal has been struggling much of the game, both shooting and with fouls.
There's the shot. Gray had a good inside position from the weak side. Neal was late in dropping down, and he fouled Gray on the rebound.
Rob Gray with his first point of the night. Gray, the 7th man on this East Oriental team. Gray's the spark plug of sorts.
Gray's a streak shooter, Fred. If this guy gets hot, he could bring East High back into the ballgame with Barley not having a good game.
Cowboy Collier sits down very quickly. The guy with the ugly knee brace. Hawkins Collier, no relation, back in the game at center for the Franklin Quakers. And Neal on the break. Loses the ball. They'll call it a jump ball.
Good pressure by East High. They got back very quickly.
Rob Gray in for Dan Barley, East's big gun, who is 1 for 10 shooting tonight. So he is sitting down after some horrendous shooting problems. 4 turnovers, just 3 points overall. Gray guarding Henry Hooks. Brinkley back at the top of the key for Franklin.
Looks like Franklin's going to try to hold the ball out, open it up, and get the high percentage shot if they can.
Terry Brinkley will bring it back almost to midcourt. Trent Neal underneath loses control. Rob Gray with the rebound and a foul. Franklin with the foul underneath. They are over the limit, so they'll go the other way for the 1-and-1. Henry Hooks with his 2nd foul. Here's a look at it again.
That was a nice pass off. Good baseline move. He lost control of the ball. Unfortunately, Hooks wasn't in position for the rebound, and he fouled Gray, who was in excellent weak side rebounding position.
Gray misses, but Livingston with the rebound and hits. Livingston with 18 points. And East now down by just 4, 50-46. Franklin, the lead diminishing.
Good double team inside.
Oh, what a block by Livingston.
Livingston, excellent block.
Steve Bridges. Loses control. Franklin will get it back. John Livingston, a 1-man wrecking crew for East. 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocked shots. Without him, they're not in this game.
No question about it, Fred. He's the man that's kept East High in this ball game.
Marcus Davis with the ball. The big gun for Franklin is fouled on the inbound. Sal Rizzo can't believe it. Both teams over the limit.
Tough call by the official. Davis was being double teamed, but with his great jumping ability, he got up and got the ball, and he got the bump from the East Side player, and you got to call the foul on that case.
Here's a look at it again.
He goes up high to get the ball. The East Side player late in getting in there, called for the foul. Good call by Mike Palermo.
Marcus Davis at the line for the 1-and-1. Marcus with 19 points. A game high to the moment. John Livingston for East, 2nd with 18. Marcus Davis in his final game as a high school ball player going out in stellar fashion. Hits the other. 20 points for Marcus Davis tonight. And it's East back up by 6, 52-46, or excuse me, Franklin over East, 52-46, 3.5 left.
Franklin in a 2-3 zone.
Quinn Smith. Nowhere close, but a foul from behind. So he will go to the line to shoot 2. Here's a look at it again.
Livingston posted high. Quinn got into the weak side, got the return pass, took it to the basket, and got fouled. Nice play all the way around.
East down by 6, so both of these could mean a great deal.
No question that foul shots right now could be a factor for both teams.
Quinn Smith with 12 points. After a rocky start, he has played a major factor in this game. The second in and out, and Hawkins Collier loses the ball. He wants a foul, but there is none, and East gets the ball back. They could pull within 3 with this. Smith from forever.
A little too far out.
And it's Bridges.
Weak side rebounding again. Taylor, a little higher. There's Livingston. Taylor.
Oh, and it's Franklin's ball. Once again, East with a number of opportunities to pull close. It happened earlier this half. They were not able to pull it off. East with countless attempts. Out-rebounding Franklin, but they cannot pull it off. Franklin with the ball. Brinkley near the midcourt stripe. Marcus Davis, they want to slow this thing down. Rob Gray misses the steal. Henry hooks the ball and the basket. 11 points for Henry Hooks. 2:40 left in the game. Franklin back up by 7. Rod Gray with the ball. Quinn Smith will look for it. Oh, bad bounce. And Franklin goes the other way, 2-on-1. Hooks on the wing, Brinkley to Hooks. It's good.
Excellent fast break. Nice dish off.
Hooks 4 for 4 in his last 4 shots. And Franklin is loving every second of it. 56-47. The Quakers, number 1 in Section 5 over number 2 East.
Brinkley with the ball, passes over to Hooks. Real nice play. 2-on-1 basketball.
Goes the other way, 2-on. So many rebounds for East, and they are unable to capitalize. Both times they were close. They don't get the basket. Franklin gets it back, gets a basket, and all the others out of the
It seems like that's been the trend every time East tight.
Let's listen to the coaches right now and what they have to say.
Do they have anybody missing? Foul shots, all they do. Who hasn't taken any?
Hey, take the top off and just get them, man. Neil can hit him. It's just that tall. That tall one.
The big guy? Collins or Hawkins?
Is the guy to foul, and Neil and Hooks haven't shot any foul shots.
Hooks will shoot him. He's in.
We don't want to hit foul hooks, but we got a foul. Now look, when we start fouling, we go for the ball. I don't want 2-shot fouls. I want to push it.
We want some water, man. Hey, you want some water?
Let's really press the hell out of him here. Come on. A 100. Let's give it everything we got.
Come on, man. Come on.
Last 2 minutes. Come on.
Ready? Come on, baby. Let's go.
Last 2 minutes.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Shit.
Well, you heard it for yourself. East, that was down by 8 at half, is now down by 9. They've been as close as 3. East has out-rebounded Franklin in the second half on the offensive boards, 19-4. But they have been unable to close. East somehow manages to hang on to the ball. Taylor will fire and make it.
He got the roll.
Just his first points of the second half.
Nice steal by John Livingston.
Livingston hits. And he's got 20.
There's the
And they lose
East
it again.
pressure. East side's pressure.
What a turnaround. East, moments ago down by 9, now down by 5 with the ball back.
You need a bucket here, though, Fred.
They're looking for it.
Nice pass.
Taylor underneath,
There
can't
it
get
is.
it.
Livingston again. And he gets fouled.
Foul. And it counts. 22 points for John Livingston. within 30 seconds. East was down by 9, is now down by 3. They could close to within 2. Livingston going for his 23rd point of the night. Could pull East as close as they've been since the middle of the first half. He does it. Lots of basketball left, a minute 43. Hooks with the ball, they're only up by 2. Franklin, now all of a sudden in trouble. They've led the whole game. Marcus Davis underneath. The Troy Poindexter, no good, but a foul.
Nice play by Marcus Davis. He had to go up high to get that ball to prevent it from going out of bounds. Looked and saw Poindexter on the other side, gave him a nice pass. Poindexter couldn't convert, but got fouled on the play.
Bridges his 3rd foul. Poindexter to the line to shoot 2. Franklin up by 2. East has been running down the entire game. Franklin, remember, just 1 timeout left. Well, that tells it all, doesn't it? Head coach Trent Jackson with just 1 timeout left. Poindexter at the line. Trying to make his coach get a 3-point lead. He gets it. Poindexter with his 9th point of the night. A minute and a half left. Franklin 57-54 over East. The battle for number 1 in Section 5. This one's going to the wire. Oh, a steal underneath. Brent Neal to Terry Brinkley. Yes! No basket. The refs have waved it off. And Terry Brinkley is either hurt or just disappointed. Maybe a little of both. The foul before the hoop. Here it is again.
Nice outlet pass. Brinkley streaking down the floor, takes it in. Ball might have gone in, but the Franklin player got up there. The ball's in the cylinder. He touched it. You got to disallow the basket.
Dan Barley causing the foul.
Once again, another excellent call. This one by Larry Tripotto.
That's Barley's 4th. One more and he's gone. Brinkley to the line. Shoot 2. Brinkley with just his 4th point of the night. He averages 13. Minute 20 left. Franklin by 4 and looking for more. Ben Taylor with a rebound for East. Barley on the break. He's caused a lot of turnovers today, but not this time. Quinn Smith looking, wheeling out to Barley. Who'll fire? Oh, yeah! East within 2. At a whistle. Henry Hooks went off to the races, but East has called a timeout.
East High called the timeout before Franklin was able to inbounds the ball.
Sal Rizzo at the scorer's table. Coach, what's he asking about? Do you know? What do you think?
I think he wants to check his timeouts and see also how many Franklin has.
Okay, so here's the situation. Both coaches have 1 timeout left. East down the whole game, now down by just 2. As close as they've been. Here's a look at the basket just moments ago.
He's out there, but he's taking that shot all year long, and once again, he nails it.
Barley has struggled all night long. He now has 5 points. He averages 18. Let's listen to Franklin head coach Trent Jackson.
You taking the ball right down there knowing they're going to trap. Why don't you get the ball? Because you know you can't go in the corner. They're going to trap. Have we come this far to give it back to them? No. But just look what you're doing. East is not doing that. We're doing it ourselves. 4 points, 7-point lead with 4 minutes. Look where we are now. And they haven't done a thing. One, two, three, Frank. Hey, I'm finished with it.
You can run the baseline. Run the baseline.
You talk again. I'm going to say what you talk. Don't talk
Trent Jackson, who at one point led by 11, now leads by 2. 1 minute, 7 seconds left. Both coaches with 1 timeout left. Trent Jackson going for his consecutive championships in AAA. Franklin did it last in 1971 or 70 and 71, taking AA titles. This would be the first of 2 AAAs, second actually of 2 AAAs if they are to win it. Franklin with the ball.
No question, momentum has swung East High's favor, but will there be enough time is the question. Nice steal by Smith.
And he gets it. Quinn Smith with the steal and the hoop. We're tied at 58, 57 seconds left.
A lot of time left. A lot of time left.
East has erased an 11-point Franklin lead. 48 seconds left and we're tied. And Franklin wants to talk it over. Trent Jackson uses his final timeout. 44 seconds left and we are tied at 58. Let's look at it again.
Steal. There's a steal by Quinn. Takes it up. A little off balance, but he's got that good body control to put it in.
Quinn Smith, so tough, has come on in the second half for 14 points. Actually a 14-point game total. Marcus Davis for Franklin has 20 points. He's their team high scorer, 7 rebounds as well. The man overall, though, John Livingston for East with a game high 23 points and 12 rebounds. And you can barely hear yourself think, Dick.
They take it earlier. We get the ball.
Excited.
Let's listen to East head coach Sal Rizzo.
With about 12 seconds to go, we're going to go for one. If it's time, we're going to go for one. Let's go.
Hey, find Davis! Find Davis! Easy back!
You've done a hell of a job. Come on, baby, let's win it, baby.
Okay, coach. This is what we have you here for. Tell us what they're going to do.
Well, Franklin obviously will hold the ball, I think, a little bit just to get a good shot. I don't think they want to run the clock down. I think if they get a good shot with the number of shooters they have, they got to take the good one. At least that's the way I would see it.
You're going to hold for one shot?
Well, I thought they might try to get a good shot and take it, even if it meant shooting at 20 seconds. But it looks like they're going to hold it out and wait right down to the last few seconds. East side's just going to have to play real good defense.
22 seconds left. We'll let the noise tell you the whole story. Terry Brinkley with the ball and 13 left.
He gave up the baseline. East side.
Steal by East.
He's got time.
2 seconds.
He got fouled. He got fouled, Fred.
Time is out, but a foul on the play. Quinn Smith has been fouled. His time has run out. He will go to the line to shoot 2.
It'll be a
two-shot
two-shot
tied
foul.
at 58. Here it is again.
Good defense by East. Shut off the baseline. Scramble for the loose ball. John Livingston with a fine pass. Smith took it hard to the hole. Wasn't going to take any chances. He's either going to get fouled or they're going to have to give him the deuce.
And Franklin head coach Trent Jackson is out of timeouts. It all comes down to this. Time is out, but the game is not over. We are tied at 58 and the Section 5 AAA championship. Number 1 Franklin in WOKR's top 10 coaches poll against number 2 East. This is for bragging rights and a lot more. East is going for their first sectional championship in quite a while. They're 15th overall.
I'll tell you, Fred, the officials have done one fantastic job. 2 teams as quick as this in the pace of this game. Nate Capoto, Mike Palermo have been great.
Here it is. Oh!
He backed off the line, Fred. He backed off. He should have stayed right there. Nice follow through. Instead, he backed off. We'll see if he does it again.
For the title, here it is.
He did it again. He backed off the line.
Quinn Smith has 2 chances for the AAA title and misses both. So, we have overtime. Tied at 58. We got a barn burner on our hands at the hockey barn tonight, the basketball barn. Oh my.
I wouldn't have believed he'd missed 2, but each time he shot, instead of following through and staying on the line, he backed off, and I really think that
here it is
forced
again.
him to miss.
This is number 2.
He gets nice position. He seems very relaxed. There he goes. He backs off, and I think that prevented him from having that good follow through.
You talked about momentum. Now what? Do they still have it? Does he still have it?
Well, I think they still have it, but they might have lost just a little because of the 2 shots that Quinn missed. Obviously, Franklin's got to feel relieved now. They're back in it when it looked like all was gone at the end there.
What a game. Quinn Smith, a hero of sorts in the second half, combining with John Livingston to bring East back from an 11-point deficit. Smith with a chance to win it and misses 2 free throws. After time had actually won it. John Livingston, a game-high 23 points as we head for a 3-minute overtime period. Both teams back on the court.
I wouldn't be surprised to see East High, if they could win the tap, hold the ball.
One more time. Here it is.
Baseline by Brinkley. He got shut off by Taylor. Nice defense. Out to Livingston. Smith streaking down, took it hard to the basket, and the foul, I believe, was on Trent Neal, who had no choice. He had to follow.
So, of course, Smith missed the 2 free throws following that foul. So we go to a 3-minute overtime, tied at 58. Poindexter and Livingston will tip.
Franklin may even want to hold the ball if they should get the tip here. Each team may want to just work it down and go for the one. We'll have to wait and see, Fred.
All right.
They're signaling for 4, East Side. They want to bring them out and have them play man. Once again, everybody's one-on-one.
No. Loose ball, and East gets it back. They have out-rebounded Franklin all day long, and now it really matters.
Quinn Smith and John Livingston made that rebound possible for Steve Bridges.
Two and a half left. Quinn Smith. Everybody on their feet here at the War Memorial.
Each side's going to have to keep moving. They don't want to have a turnover from sloppy ball handling.
Steve Bridges, the last in a line of 4 brothers that have played Section 5 basketball. This is his senior year. Very intelligent ball player. Intelligent both in the classroom and on the court. 2 minutes left in the game. Dan Barley with it back to Bridges. Bridges trying to go out a winner, as are most of these seniors. Quinn Smith, the junior, he'll be back next year, but not too many others. Back to Barley. 1:50 left.
Franklin sitting in the 1-2-2 zone. They're content with not really putting too much pressure on East at this point.
Will Franklin let them go to one shot?
I would think not. I would think that they would want to put a little more pressure on and force East to handle the ball. When you're in this delay situation, if you can put the pressure on, you have a chance to cause a turnover.
We're down to 1:20. And Bridges is dribbling. All the way back over to Barley now. Now Lizzo yelling out the instructions. He's got the ball.
Well, Franklin's look like they're coming up a little bit.
Trent Jackson.
Hooks and Trent Neal. Yeah, they're putting a little more pressure. Okay.
Things are serious. Jackson's got his coat off. 57 seconds left. East tied at 58 with Franklin. The battle for number 1 in Section 5. Smith with it. 48 seconds left. Bridges back outside to Barley. Smith to Bridges. 38 seconds left. Tied at 58. And timeout East. So, Coach, 35 seconds left. You've got the ball. You're Sal Rizzo. Go with a set play and hold till like 10 and go for it, or what?
go.
I think he has two options. He can hold it.
Well, we got to work something.
Let's see what he has to say.
Call corner. The through, they seem to be matching up. Call corner. If you have to swing the ball, but swing it carefully. Now, we still have one more timeout, right? So, rather than throw a cross-court pass and get in trouble or travel, anybody holler timeout. Now, what do we want to run for the last shot? John's been our hot man.
Corner. And Quinn. Corner's high too.
Quinn has been hot too. Either one. Okay, we'll either send him through or we'll call corner. Don't force it. Don't force it. All right, don't force it.
John, go for it. Stop. You got to keep it back
Unless
up.
there's pressure on.
What defense to go back?
We're going to go back to a two. Now, you can't let Davis get the ball on the foul line. All right, let's go. Let's go. Come on.
All right. Well, you heard it for yourself. Sal's got the ball, and with it, he can win the Section 5 AAA championship. He's got 35 seconds to get at least 1 point and make sure Franklin doesn't score any. How do you defend against that?
Well, Franklin either has to stay back like they've been and say, well, we're going to give you the one last shot and hope it doesn't go, or they come out and create a little pressure and see if they can't force a turnover or force East High to rush their offense and maybe take a poor shot. East High, on the other hand, looks like Coach Rizzo wants a play off of the corner where we'll possibly send Quinn Smith through and have John Livingston on the low post where he has the option of Smith taking the corner jumper or kicking the ball into Livingston.
All right, Quinn Smith with the ball, double teamed. East loses the ball.
That ball, yes. Excellent call by Larry Capote. Excellent call. Ball's off John Livingston's leg.
Livingston, who has been such a key in this game, the game high 23 points, loses the ball. Franklin with it, 20 seconds left in overtime. This is for the win.
Once again, Fred, you saw the pressure on Quinn Smith, the double team. You had to kick the ball in. Now that picked up the action a little bit and forced the turnover.
Livingston, who has been so tough, the game high 23, really the reason that East is in this game at all, loses the ball back to Franklin as they call timeout. 12 seconds left. And let's see if we can get into that huddle with head coach Trent Jackson.
We make one basket, that's it. Get a good shot. We don't need no 20-foot jump shot. Let's go ahead and
Tonight's attendance has been revised upward to 4,931. 4,931, Section 5. Thank you.
Here's a look at the loss again.
The Franklin player, Marcus Davis, reached in, got a piece of the ball, and knocked it off of John Livingston's leg. All John's fault.
A great game and a great crowd. We were very conservative in our estimates, just under 5,000 in actual attendance tonight, so they have seen a great game, and great that they came out. Once again, Channel 13 is proud to present the Section 5 AAA Championship 20 straight years now, and a game like this is one of the many reasons why. Franklin, with 10 seconds left, can win it with 1 or 2 points. Let's listen.
We're going to rely on the one shot. There it is.
No! Trent Neal.
I'll tell you, Fred, Dan Barley almost made a key steal out in front. If he would have got that, it would have been all over.
So no points in the first overtime. We got more coming to you. Let's take a look at it again.
Neal didn't really have a good shot. He was under a lot of pressure. He was probably fortunate to get that ball off.
Let's, for a moment, recap what's happened. East, the number 2 ranked team in WOKR's top 10 poll, top seeded in the tournament, was down by as many as 11. Down at half 32-24, an 8-point deficit. In the second half, down by as many as 11, came back and tied it at 58 in regulation. They had a chance to win when at the free throw line, Quinn Smith missed both free throws as time actually had expired. They shot at the buzzer. He was fouled. He missed both. East held the ball through the entire first overtime until, with a few seconds left, they lost the ball. Franklin at the buzzer shot and missed from Trent Neal. So we are now in double overtime, tied at 58, and we'll try again.
Well, I think if you reach tie, you're going to go with the same game plan. If you get the tip here, you're going to hold the ball. Franklin, on the other hand, now we don't know if they'll put more pressure on, if they should have to play defense, or if they'll sit back again and let the clock run down.
Franklin controls the tip. It is Brinkley underneath. Yes!
Okay.
And time has been called as some cups hit the floor. So we'll hit the brakes here for a moment until they can clean the floor. We've got a lot of ice. It's a mess here right in front of the scorer's table, actually in front of our table. So, in a sense, Dick, a problem for Easton that they had the break going and missed it.
There's the tip. Livingston didn't get a piece of the ball. Franklin controlled, kicked the ball down to a streaking Brinkley, put it up for 2.
Brinkley gets the bucket, and then East turns around and goes on the break, potentially with the 3-on-2 when a cup hit the floor and everybody just stopped all at once. We've got a lot of ice out here, so it'll be a few seconds. It is Franklin by 2, 60-58. We've been here 2 hours and 15 minutes, when these games normally only go about an hour and 40 or so. It's been a real great game, and we're almost ready to get it back going here. 2 minutes, 53 seconds left. Sal Rizzo, East High's coach, going for his 21st win of the season. Head coach Trent Jackson of Franklin going for his 20th. None more important than this one.
Out of time. East needs to be patient here, Fred. Make sure they work and get a nice shot off. There's no reason to panic at this time.
Ken Taylor misses, but John Livingston.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
John Livingston.
As he has all game, Livingston just keeps popping until he finally hits. Twice before, a number of shots have gone bad, but this time Livingston connects for the foul, too. He'll go to the line because of this.
Ken Taylor with a kind of a forced shot here, but there he is. John Livingston inside, got the first rebound, missed, got his own rebound, put it back up, and got fouled again.
Livingston with 26 points. John Livingston, a 6'4", 210-pound monster, trying to make his senior year a winning one. 26 points, a game high. We have a 1-point East lead as Livingston connected on the 3-point play. We are in double overtime at the War Memorial.
Good inside pressure by East High.
East gets the ball and a foul on Trent Neal.
No, I believe that's a traveling call. It's
right.
traveling on Steve Bridge. It was good hustle, but he was down on the floor, moving around.
And so Franklin gets the ball back. Trent Neal with the ball to Brinkley. Franklin down by 1. Hooks with the ball, loses it, and Brinkley gets it back. Two minutes left in double overtime. Trent Neal. And John Livingston gets the rebound.
Yes, key rebound.
East with the ball and the lead by 1 with 1:51. Oh, stolen by Henry Hook.
Dan Barley fell asleep.
Hooks misses Barley with the ball and a foul.
Neal on the foul. Dan Barley relaxed a little bit there. Trent Neal came in from behind and stripped him, but he couldn't convert.
Trent Jackson can't believe it. Let's see it again.
There it is. He relaxed. Henry Hooks hustling. Puts it up a little hard. Couldn't make it. Rebound to Barley. And Trent Neal came up, fouled Barley.
Henry Hooks with his head buried in his hands. Missing what would have been a 2-point basket to give them the lead in double overtime. And instead, East goes to the free throw line, up by 1 with 1:45 left. Poindexter in the game for Trent Neal for Franklin. Dan Barley gets the first of the 1-and-1.
Nice smooth delivery, Fred. Nice smooth delivery.
Interestingly enough, their big gun who has struggled throughout the game, now hitting clutch free throws.
There's nothing but string music on that shot. John Livingston almost tipped that in again. He's just beating him off the block in there.
East by 2 with 1:38 left.
Quinn Smith.
What a steal.
Just a fantastic game. East High with a timeout.
So, 1:34 left in double overtime. East with the ball and a 2-point lead. Oh boy.
Well, I think Franklin now, they're going to have to match up man-to-man and good pressure on. They don't necessarily have to foul. There's still enough time, but they don't want to let East High hold the ball.
There have been so many turning points in this game. What do you see as the keys now? Well, let's first listen to head coach Sal Rizzo of East. Well, we've got eyes but no ears on head coach Sal Rizzo, so we'll talk for a second. What have been the keys in this game? You talk about Livingston. You talk about Marcus Davis, these game high scorers. But it's been the little guys too. Barley in the clutch at the free throw line, hitting one there.
I think the game really started to swing East's favor, Fred, in the last 3 minutes of the fourth period. Franklin had the lead, but they were holding the ball, which is basically not their game. And they missed their opportunities, and East started coming down, cashing in. They put some full court pressure, cause some turnovers, once again put the ball in, and the momentum you could see switch, and I think that's, to me, that's where it all started to happen.
All right, so we're back in action here. A minute 34 left. East by 2 in double overtime. Bridges will inbound to Barley. Full court pressure by Franklin.
Franklin's going to have to double team whenever possible. Try to create a turnover. East High is going to have to move. They're going to have to keep moving now. They don't want to stand still. They want to try to avoid all the double teams they can.
He's trying to avoid that 5-second violation, too.
Steve Bridges has run his four corners for 4 years now for Coach Rizzo. He's a master at it.
57 seconds left.
There's a foul.
Terry Brinkley, as shocked as anybody. And the 1-and-1, Steve Bridges will go to the line. He conceivably could put this out of reach because of this.
Okay, Bridges inside, little spin move, got a little contact from Brinkley, and Mike Palermo called the foul. Little hard.
The 1-and-1 is missed. Hawkins Collier, we haven't heard much of him tonight.
No, he's been pretty silent.
Henry Hooks with the ball, down by 2. Franklin is double overtime on Channel 13 Sports, East by 2. Franklin wanting it back. Hooks.
There's the offensive
Try
rebound.
again.
What a block. Block.
Livingston, a great play.
John Livingston.
Oh boy. Just 31 seconds left and a jump ball.
This is a big possession right here, Fred.
Oh, and it's
Dan Barley just stole that ball.
Gets it.
There it is.
Dan Barley.
Barley just stayed back. He knew he was going there. He knew Marcus Davis was going to out-jump.
Davis misses and East gets it back with a 4-point lead in double overtime with the ball.
It's all over now, Fred. It's all over.
Quinn Smith underneath to Ken Taylor.
There it is.
And a foul. 8 seconds left. East with the ball and a 4-point lead will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. This is double overtime in the Section 5 AAA Basketball Championship. And it appears we are about to crown a new champion. Here it is again.
Barley laid back. He knew the tip was going to go to Brinkley because Quinn wasn't going to out-jump Davis, and he held back, and he knew where he was going to go. Brinkley stood, waited for the ball. Barley attacked, got the ball, took it down for the easy deuce.
Head coach Trent Jackson of Franklin unhappy with that. Unhappy with the foul, that is. Dan Barley, boy, I tell you, he's only had 8 points, but they've been very important points.
Yes, they have.
So East will go to the line with a 4-point lead. They can make it as much as 6. Ken Taylor looking to put this one away for keeps. Taylor, the 6', 200-pound senior, to go out a winner in his graduating season. Taylor misses the first. He'll try for the second. Gets it.
It's all academic now. East just has to let him come down and put
5
the ball
seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. And although Franklin hits, this one's over. East is the new Section 5 AAA champion.
Fine effort by East High. They never gave up. Never gave up. They kept
What a game. In double overtime, East is now the Section 5 AAA basketball champion and the #1 team in Section 5 with a stirring come-from-behind win 1 point down by 11. Edison head coach Dick O'Toole, commentator, joining Sal Rizzo right now.
Coach Sal Rizzo, East Side's Orientals. Sal, I see you got your lucky sweater on, sort of like Lou Carnesecca. This is your 8th time in the finals. You come up with the big one 7 times. Is this one any more special than any others?
It's been so long. I forgot what the others are like. I love this one. The kids, you know, just played their hearts out. We missed a lot of shots early. We had 13 turnovers at our 2. We got in a hole, and, you know, I'm just so proud of them. They came back under adverse conditions, which they made themselves, but still, that happens in this game, and I love them, I'll tell you.
Coach, what do you think might have been the turning point in the ball game for you?
Well, we never gave up. We held the ball early to be rested for the second half. We couldn't run with them up and down this court with 5, 6 men that I play. They got 7 or 8. I figured the second half, if we stayed close, we'd beat them. And it worked out like we figured.
Coach, were you concerned at all that Dan Barley was struggling a bit out there?
He's such a good ball player. I know he struggles at some games, but he's so explosive. You know, there's times when he just comes to life. And it was great.
Coach, I said before the game that I thought John Livingston would be a key, and I think that proved out. What did you think about his play tonight?
He played one of the greatest games. He's a hell of a kid, and I'm so happy for him. He needed a game like this, too. And he really helped us, I'll tell you. Off the boards and on the scoring, he's just tremendous.
Coach, I know you want to be with your players once again. Thank you and congratulations. Now back to you, Fred.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Once again, congratulations to Sal Rizzo, head coach of the East Orientals. And congratulations to the Orientals for their 21st win in 22 this season and the Section 5 AAA championship, their 15th overall. We've got to go to a commercial break. But before we go, let me tell you that you've been watching East Franklin basketball on WOKR 13. Fred Cowgill and Edison Tech head coach Dick O'Toole back with you at the War Memorial, where we have seen one of the best games I have in a long time, certainly, as East in double overtime beats defending AAA champ Franklin 65-62. So East is the new Section 5 AAA champ. Dick, quite a game.
Yes, it was, Fred. It was a great effort by East High. When it looked like they were down and out and Franklin was in control all the way, they never gave up. They hung in there, and it just shows you what determination you can do. East came back and won the ball game. It was probably one of the most exciting games they've had in AAA in many years.
East down at 1 point by 8 at halftime, 32-24, in the second half down by as many as 11. They come back to tie it in 58 at regulation. Then Quinn Smith misses the 2 free throws in regulation as the buzzer was out. Really, as time had expired, that would have won it. Nobody scores in overtime, and then in double overtime, they finally pull away to a 65-62 win.
I would never expect Quinn Smith to miss 2 of them. I thought myself the game was over right there. But who knows what was going on in his mind. But it didn't take away from East High's momentum. They still came back and played the